Hello, how's it going, everyone? In this episode, we're going to be making a phone stand. I'm doing this for a guy who's a friend of mine that I work with, typically, and he's deaf, and so he's been using a phone stand essentially from an energy drink can. So I'm going to make one for him that's actually a lot better because, you know what? When he was using that energy drink can, he got a nice little, well, you could imagine what happened. It spilled. Not cool. So, I'm making a phone stand for him, and we're going to start right now. Hi everyone, welcome to my show, Nathan's 3D Factory. My name is Nathan Adams. In this show, I do Blender 3D models, and I export them for 3D printables. If you like my stuff, make sure to go to shembol.com for all my other video series, and also, subscribe for more, and make sure to hit that notification bell for every time that I give you a new video. You can also check out my stuff by going to facebook.com/ShembleStudio if you want to give me a like on Facebook. You can follow me also at ShembleStudio on Twitter. And finally, you can follow me at ShembleStudio on Instagram as well. You are watching Nathan's 3D Factory. So, first step, what we got here, we got our default scene. We're in Blender 2.79 for this. So, let's see. Now we're going to navigate into one of my projects, and I'm going to be getting my iPhone 8. I'm using this as a template so that I can kind of model off of that. So, now I got my iPhone 8 model in here, and this I'm basically using for any phone because, you know what? This is going to be a universal phone stand. So it's not going to have size restrictions on it. You can use it for any phone you want to. iPhone 8, Android, Samsung's, whatever the case may be. So now I'm scaling it out so it's a little bit bigger than the phone on the x-axis. Now I'm going to scale it back in so it's a little bit closer to the size there. Okay, there we go. Got that size all taken care of. Now I'm going to scale it along the y-axis. Okay, so I'm just kind of playing around with the settings there. Now I got it. So, there we go. Now it's sized up to where I want it. At least as far as the flat bed that it's going to go onto. Now I'm going to rotate it 60 degrees there on the x-axis there. Okay, now, there we go. And I'm also going to parent that, move it around, and then make that work out there. Okay, there we go. Got out of the wireframe and back into the regular shaded mode. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a base for this. So now I got the bed for it. And now that base, I'm going to take it out, and I'm going to take it about, I think it was 60 millimeters. So, again, I'm narrating this as I'm doing this. So I'd done this last night. There we go. So that was step one. Now on to step two. Step two. Okay, so what I'm going to do there is I'm going to solidify that, and I'm going to do it as a 3 millimeter thickness. Now, as I go in, just kind of looking through that, make sure it looks good. So everything looks good other than that part right there at the sharp edge. I don't want it to do what it's doing, so I'm going to bevel it. And I put it at a bevel of 3 on there. So I experimented with a couple of settings, and I thought 3 is a good one for that bevel. Now we got a basic shape that we can go with on there. So I'm just kind of looking around at that, seeing if I like it. Okay, so everything looks good there. Now, going back in. And now I'm going to create a couple loop cuts here. And I also had to make sure that I turned off the solidify modifier because I wasn't seeing my loop cut geometry. Okay, now I'm just adding loop cuts on the midpoints for each of those there. Doing the vertical and in the horizontal. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make kind of a window at the back of this. It's going to be a little cross window. So this is kind of the design that my friend wanted to have on his stand. I think this design's actually pretty cool. but of course that's because I made it. Okay, so now what I'm doing is that I'm taking it and I'm just doing like an edge slide, and I'm doing some loop cuts, and then I'm going to do the same thing going in the vertical direction. There we go. Same thing there. And then I'm going to add some loop cuts going the other way. So, playing around with that. I wanted to edge slide those so that they'd be proportionally pretty close together. Now I'm adding some into the middle so that way I have loop cuts so that it has some thickness to it there. Okay, so there's that. And I want it... So as I was doing this, I realized I had these loop cuts that I put in that weren't quite necessary, and I ended up going back and undoing that. So I'm just kind of going through. You're seeing me kind of goof through this. Oh boy, see? Right there, I went through my undos, and now I realized I had to put it toward the middle, not the edge. So, there we go. Now, I'm going to take those, not edges, okay, those faces, and get them out of there. There we go. All right, looking pretty cool there, huh? Got that nice little window. All right, gonna save that, and on to step 3. All right, there we go. Now, I'm adding a couple of loop cuts there. What I want to do next is that I want to have those because I'm going to put some supports on the sides. Okay, so here we go. Adding a couple loop cuts there. All right. And then right here, one thing I didn't mention was that I applied that modifier for the solidify, because the stuff that I'm going to be doing now, if I try and do it with the solidify modifier going, that's not going to be good for that mesh because it does a whole bunch of really weird stuff. So now I'm adding the supports on the side, and I didn't do anything fancy with this. I looked at it and I was like, it's kind of complex, and honestly, I think it actually looks cool because 1, I'm lazy, and 2, it actually looks just fine with those angled supports there. So there we go. And so I applied that modifier. I'm going to save that, and then we're going to go to step 4. Now, step 4, I'm going to be adding the final support on here. So this is going to be the support that's going to go and sit under the phone. So, just kind of got this nice little, I guess you could call it like, I don't know if it's a lip or a tray or what you'd call it. But it's where the phone is going to sit, otherwise that thing's going to slide right off and it's going to be useless. So, what I'm doing is I'm just checking out that lip, making sure everything's alright. And now, I'm going to do a little edge sliding to make sure that it's in the right place there. And because I'm doing edge sliding, I'm not doing exact measurements with this. Because edge sliding, you kind of just have to use a little bit of judgment with that, I've found. And now I'm going to extrude it. At least this one I can say I extruded it 10 millimeters out. There we go. I wanted that to be approximately 3 millimeters thick like the rest of the stuff. It's a little bit thicker on that part, though. So, there we go. Now I got the stand all taken care of, and look at that. You can rotate this phone so that you can sit like that too, not just the other way. So, it's pretty cool stuff. And that is the iPhone stand. I have that available on Shapeways, and I'm going to be doing that. I'm offering that to my friend. So anyway, so I've also converted it to a .stl and put it onto Shapeways. And I'm sharing that on my Facebook. I'm sharing that on my Shapeways blog site. and I'm also sharing this on Discord. So anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it gave you some inspiration for another 3D model that you can produce. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of this video. Did you like the design of this? Did you like how it was built and everything? And if you'd like to make any requests for any custom 3D designs, let me know. I'd really appreciate it. You can leave a comment down there, or I'm also going to provide my email. So I really appreciate you coming and watching this and being a part of the fun. I hope you're having fun because I'm having fun. So thank you so much for watching Nathan's 3D Factory.